ArchiveGrid is a free online catalog of more than 7 million archival materials from more than 1,400 repositories around the United States and the rest of the world. Hi, I'm Sunny Morton, here with a quick tour of this easy-to-use website. Before I show you how to use ArchiveGrid for genealogy, though, I want to show you why to use it. Wouldn't you love to discover original manuscript items like these, pertaining to an ancestor's life, hidden away in an archive somewhere? Diaries, reminiscences, correspondence, business records they might have kept, genealogical research notes, or travel narratives. What about government records like little voters lists that were just kept in one little locale, or a local census, militia records, tax returns? What about membership lists of all kinds from different kinds of institutions, from churches, schools, cemeteries, lists of burials there, funeral home records, all kinds of other organizations that may have kept records about your family? And then, of course, you might even find photographs, maps, or other items that can illustrate the stories of your ancestors' lives. Those 7 million items in ArchiveGrid are items like these, one-of-a-kind originals that may be buried somewhere in a place, an archive that you've never heard of or visited. To explore Archive, go to the homepage, which has an unfortunately long URL, researchworks.oclc.org. You'll see the first of two kinds of searches you can do here right away. You can look for an archive near a specific place. When you're on the hunt for any kinds of ancestral treasures, you'll often be looking for archives near where they lived. To search for an archive in a specific place, use the search bar right here where that opens up and choose the place you want. Now you can zoom in and out to look at the kinds of repositories that are near the cities or places where your family lived. You can click on one of them to see options to search the collections or contact a specific repository. If you click Search the Collections, you'll be taken to another screen where you can use keywords to search for the item descriptions of their holdings. This is a good way to discover repositories, both large and small, that might be worth exploring virtually here to begin with, and perhaps later in person. But items related to your family history may be anywhere, not just in repositories that are local to where your family lived. So I generally prefer using the main ArchiveGrid search box at the top of the page here. Let's say I'm hoping to find records for a church mentioned in my ancestor's obituary. I've run this search before, you can tell. She attended a Methodist church in Lynn Creek, Missouri in the late 1800s. So I enter those words here and run a search. The first one looks perfect. I click View the Finding Aid. In this case, the site is going to redirect me to the finding aid on the repository's own website. If I scroll down here, I'll see there's a brief description of a manuscript item called The History of 90 Years of Lynn Creek Methodist Church. As you can see, there are clickable subject headers, in this case just one, and the county here so that I could see what else is available for these related topics. But here I would like to click through one more time to be taken to a digitized version of the original finding aid. As you can see here, this manuscript finding aid tells me a lot more. The important things I'm looking for are description of what kinds of things are included in the manuscript collection, the time period, the place, any people who are mentioned, how big or extensive the collection is, how to learn more about it or get access to it. In this case, I went ahead and contacted the Society and got information about ordering a copy of the entire booklet since I don't live nearby. After exploring that result, I would then return to the search results page and go down through the next few until it's clear that the results are no longer relevant to my search. In this case, the Camden result is a collection of results that all pertain to Camden County, where Lynn Creek is. There's a photograph collection pertaining to a couple of specific families, not mine, but that does mention the local Methodist church. So if I wanted a photo of the church, I might look into this entry as well. Now, if I wanted to, I could change over to the summary view. This organizes my search results by different themes or topics, as you can see. Can you see how some of these themes could be really helpful to your searches? A couple last tips about using the search box. You can put quotes around an exact phrase you want to search for, and then your search results will only be limited to that exact phrase. But let's say that you were looking for a place called Lincoln, Illinois, but you realized quickly that a lot of the search results pertained to President Abraham Lincoln, who for a time lived in Illinois. So you can go back and edit this search to put parentheses around here just so that you'll have the group of terms Lincoln, Illinois, but not necessarily in that order. And then add the word not in capital letters and then the word Abraham, since I want to exclude the word Abraham. When I repeat that search, then mentions of Abraham Lincoln will disappear from my search results. You can also use connecting phrases and or as well as the word not. So here are some helpful tips for search terms. First, I look for names. Of course, for relatives or their neighbors, their friends, a minister, or someone else who is involved with the family, like a business partner. I also look for places, not just maybe the state or the town, but also a region or a river or any other neighborhood or identifier by which their place might be known. I also look for records of institutions with which the family was connected, because those institutions may have kept records that mention my family, or at least give me a good idea of what their community life was like. Finally, you can mix and match any combination of these terms. If you're finding that you're searching a place for which there's a lot of search results for one, add some of these others to see if limiting them will help. Exploring ArchiveGrid can be a real hit or miss sort of thing, since you never know what kinds of items will be listed about which relatives or under which of these kinds of keywords. Your first searches may come up with absolutely nothing. It may take some time before you find something that's relevant to your family on ArchiveGrid. But what you do find may be one of a kind and well worth the effort. Thanks for watching. Now go try it yourself. Explore ArchiveGrid at researchworks.oclc.org/ArchiveGrid.